Hi, welcome back to Third Academy's Metaverse community. I'm excited to be here with you today, with everyone today, to talk about the benefits of building a Metaverse community for Web3 education and for Web3 professionals. My name is Rita, and I'm the community manager at Third Academy. Today we have a very interesting guest with us, who is also a member of the team and a builder at heart. And we are going to talk a lot about this new word that we have and how we're changing the game and making it even more better for Web3 believers. Just to talk a bit about the metaverse, right? So if you're just hearing about the metaverse for the first time, don't worry, we got you. At the end of this space, at the end of this section, you feel more empowered and you would have every reason to engage with us on this photorealistic space. So just a little bit about the metaverse. It's a virtual world where people can interact with each other and with digital objects, right, in a more immersive way than traditional online experiences. And this makes it the perfect platform for building a community where people can learn, collaborate, and innovate. Star Academy it's becoming a pace setter in making Web3 education accessible, right? So by building a metaverse community, we're making it easier for people all over the world, no matter where you are, to learn about Web3, get involved in the industry, and build a very robust profile for yourself. So before we get started with the first question that I have, remember I mentioned we have a builder at heart here with us today, and she's Paige. Listed as the top 25 women in the metaverse. Paige is the VP of Metaverse Development at Third Academy. She has been recognized by Meta as top awarded Reward Impact Award at Augmented World Expo by SR Women, and is featured in the book Women of the Future Global Edition Volume 2, as well as a member of Mission Impact Academy. Remember, I said she's a builder at heart, so you shouldn't be surprised by all of this. Paige has been a leader in the SRVR community for 7 years and has created over 250 metaverse words and also loves to garden. Amazing. So in this space, you find that how TED Academy is making Web3 education and profile building more accessible with our metaverse campuses, plus other surprises, right? So sit back and listen to the space. At the end of the space, we'll have a few minutes to entertain your questions if you have any of them. So yeah, so to get started with the first question, and let's get started with our space page. So I would like to ask you, what are the features of the Third Academy Metaverse that help to make Web3 and the Metaverse more accessible to everyone? Is it that it is browser based and near photorealistic? What do you have to say concerning that?
Rita, thank you so much for welcoming me here at the Third Academy Metaverse Lounge. I'm so thrilled to be able to join your community today and our community on Discord, YouTube, and Twitter spaces as well. I love that we are together here in the metaverse, and we'll talk today about Web3 and community building. You asked, what are the features of Third Academy Metaverse that help make Web3 and the metaverse more accessible to everybody? Oh, you're totally right on. Part of why it's so accessible is that it's browser based. It's browser based and mobile accessible on Android, iOS, and laptops and tablets. That means that people all around the world are able to join us together here in the metaverse. And being near photorealistic is one of our strong points of design. we know that people, when they're first introduced to the metaverse, want to understand how to connect. And part of that visual identity is the seamlessness from the real or outside metaverse into the metaverse. And so one day there is zero distinction. Our software, and I'm here also with our developer, Brianna More, here today. We work really hard to bring you design elements that are photorealistic and full of awe-inspiring spaces for our communities to think more.
Yeah, and I think that's very interesting, um, considering the fact that as a browser-based metaverse, it can be accessed through like a web browser, right? Without the need to download any special software or apps. And I agree that it makes it more accessible to people with a variety of devices and internet connection. And also being like photo realistic, it makes it feel more like a replace, right? So that's another point that I really agree with, making it more, even more accessible and engaging. And the next question that I want to quickly ask you is that, okay, we know metaverse retention, right, on average hovers at 20 minutes across most words, and current TED Academy retention exceeds 60 minutes. Amazing. Is that due to the event programming? What are the features? What are the unique features that keeps people coming back? That will keep people coming back into the space that you've built?
That's a great question, Rita. Metaverse retention being so low, most worlds 20 minutes at best, is great for other worlds. But here at Third Academy, our impressive retention exceeding over 60 minutes blows our competitors away. And the reason really is we have co-working spaces with events that are programmed almost every day here in the metaverse. In fact, before the end of the year, we have another 100 or 200 or so metaverse events already scheduled. In the next year, we imagine over 70,000 of our members having events in this space at a regular pace because of that activity that allows strong retention because people are always here. It's like a busy town, co-working space full of activities. It feels sometimes like being back at a dorm uh, or a college campus where things are always happening. Now, these designed spaces have really fun features. We have a gaming garden, we have NFT galleries, we have arcade games, we have taco trucks, and sometimes we even have pizza parties. And combined with our partners, we have these activities that are always happening. Really fun to join us.
Those numbers are pretty impressive. And I think that, just like you mentioned, there are a lot of like unique things that have contributed to such to that retention rate that Third Academy's metaverse currently have, including the community, the content, as well as the ease of use, right? Being a browser-based, metaverse that we have earlier mentioned. And you mentioned some very very interesting things when you talked about the taco truck and the parties and all of those other good stuff, right? So can you tell us, like, what other surprise features will people discover when they are in the Third Academy's Metaverse campus? What is the gaming garden? What can you say concerning that?
I'd love to tell you more about the gaming garden. As you navigate around the perimeter of our lounge campus, in the green areas, you're able to find links to iframe games that are created by students all around the world. Diverse members of different communities and game jams have created games which are infused in our garden, and the games address community building, well being, and growing a better world together. So, except for the taco truck game, which is definitely about making tacos. But you're able to play some of these games independently or socially.
Interesting. Um, I remember the just a quick story. I remember the first time that I came into the metaverse. It was a really good experience for me. It was a really good experience. And there was this closeness that I felt with the people that were in the space with me at that time, right? Just like we're here, and it feels like I'm sitting close to you, which I am, because my avatar is sitting close to you. And at one time, after sitting like for a while, it felt like my legs were hurting from sitting, even though I was in the metaverse and I had to get up from like inside the world and do some fun activities. And I think that these activities that are in the space, I mean, they are truly impressive. And okay, but one question that I want to ask is with this space that you have built and with all the interesting things that we have and that is to come, right? How do you see the platform, the Third Academy platform, and the Metaverse campuses evolving over time? Can you tell us a bit on that?
Third Academy platform and metaverse campuses will evolve over time in short and long term ways that we are growing. And we're looking at accessibility, having translation within the metaverse. We're looking at our platform as uh, an aggregator of global educational content and highlighting partners around the world with their content. We know that another extension will be the accreditation and the soul-bound NFT accreditation for attending these courses that will be hosted inside of the platform. And in the metaverse, we know that we're expanding by creating curated groups of communities that will network, support each other, and have central spaces in order to interconnect and grow as communities together. We believe that there's a power in networking, co-networking and sharing a space. In these spaces, you may meet your next inventor, your next developer, your next creator. And we know that the way that we really evolve is by growing our community and ensuring experiences that are able to amplify the members of these communities and co-create the future together better so that our metaverse world is able to be a standard of how world and education can be out of the metaverse. We know that evolution is not just into technology, but it's into the way we think about education and prioritize social learning as equally, if not better, than institutional learning.
Impressive. I'm excited to see how the platform and the metaverse, campuses evolve over time. You know, I I honestly believe that the third academy has the potential to become a leading provider of Web3 education and training, like with some of the points that you have listed um about accessibility, which I think that it's very, very important and it's good for like mass adoption, right? I think that would also like improve and encourage mass adoption of the space, since it's accessible to people, right, with no barriers, and also with the aggregation of content, right? So you don't need to struggle with getting content from like different sources, right? So this is a platform where no matter like the category, if it's DeFi, if it's NFT, web, right, the kind of content that you're interested in, it's just easy for you to search for that and have access to that, and you know makes it easy to really participate. And then you also mentioned the soul-bound NFTs, and that's also very, very amazing as a proof of knowledge, proof of participation. They say participation is the best education, and you're able to verify, not just about saying that you were involved in this, right? You have a proof to validate the actions that you took. And I think that's very nice. Also, my next question that I have for you is that it's really it's really exciting that Third Academy launched a virtual convention, right, as an extension of a live in real life event in Las Vegas, the Brit conference. Can you tell us a bit about that project?
I would love to tell you about that project. I'm so excited to share about the Breathe Tower, our art NFT world. It was created together with my partner Brianna here, who's joining us on the couch, and it was just an incredible project to work on. So we have a partner that was hosting this Breathe event in Las Vegas, and we created a 3-story beautiful glass tower hosting 8 or 9 galleries inside with 145 works of art that are interspersed throughout the galleries in and outside. There's Brianna, would you like to talk about some of the are you able to share a little bit about like the stage and the building of that beautiful exterior with the rainbow and the the sky effects?
Yeah, of course. Um, I mean, I think what's really cool is that we have this great back and forth. We kind of take the needs of the clients or the partners, and then we can sort of come up with some whimsical ideas. Like we have like dirigibles floating in the sky with like school buses and things like that, and like, a ship hanging there, and just kind of cool things that are just unusual. We put a big rainbow in the background. We kind of lowered the light levels a little bit. So we take the kind of the bare bones level and then really dress it up. And I think that was our biggest project together. We had to add in all the NFT galleries and kind of make them different from each other, so that there's some each of the galleries. I think there was about, what did we say, 7 or 8 of them or something. And then on the top floor, we created kind of a discotheque vibe, so that with like a couple of bars up there, and so we can do events. And then also in the back, there's like a stage area that overlooks the water and the rainbow and everything that kind of looks. It just gives it a really nice feel. And then we changed the lighting, made it more colorful. And it just makes it more welcoming, I think. So yeah, it looked really great.
It did. It looks amazing. I'm always kind of captured when I enter it, and now we have the world's largest NFT in the in the world, and it's really exciting. That is a collaborative piece as well. So everything is always about a team. Here at Third Academy, we build together through ongoing series of discussions and meetings and building up prototypes and sharing ideas. We're not afraid to fail at sharing new ideas because we have good open communication. And that's what every team ultimately needs, right? So we really we get excited about working together, and our end product always shows that. At Third Academy, we care about the excellence of design, empowering our partners and visitors into the worlds through games, well-designed exhibits, and signs of inclusion throughout the worlds. And this is all intentional and part of why uh, why some of that retention again is so long. It goes back to the core of a team that communicates well and respects each other, that goes into the work where we care about creating worlds that are of, by, for all, and empowering people, and giving them a collective sense of awe together as well through great design. And nobody does that better than Brianna and I and our team here at Third Academy. What can I say? So when you come to visit us in the future, make sure you ask about the Breathe campus, where we'll be seeing more art to NFTs. In fact, we're going to have a mentorship program coming up soon with members of Breathe community and the XR women, who will be working together as mentor-mentee partners and creating new works for the space. So once we build a place, a world, it's dynamic, it's happening. It's not a place that was a marketing tool. It's a living world with activities, life, and it's like a verb. It's what's happening.
Terrific, terrific. And seeing it on the screen, as you're talking about it, just makes the experience even more fulfilling. And I can't wait for people to get to experience that. And I think you have both done a very good job. Okay, so if you're listening to us on YouTube, Discord, Twitter, wherever you are listening to us from, we're in the Third Academy's Metaverse Lounge, and today we're talking about the community, and how Third Academy is making Web3, right, more accessible. Web3 education, mentorship training more accessible to people all over the world, no matter where you're from. And we know that there's a shortage of qualified Web3 educated people, and workforce, and with the way Web3 is increasing exponentially, right? So there is a need to build an educational content platform, right, so that people can learn about Web3, get credentials, get matched to job, find your next co-founder, find your next job, co-working spaces, and all of those other amazing things, and just participate in a social environment, right? So Tech Academy considers itself a social educational ecosystem, right? Making this more accessible to people all over the world. And today we have Brianna with us, a builder at heart, and we've been talking about the platform, what to expect, the metaverse retention, the community that we're building here, she and her team, and I think they are really doing a very very good and terrific job. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them on the chat wherever you are, and we'll just go through those. And um, Paige will be able to answer your Paige, and Brianna will be able to answer your question concerning what you have. Okay, can you Paige, can you tell us about the upcoming launch of the Women in Tech campus at Third Academy? Can you tell us a bit on that?
Absolutely. Oh, just I'm just as excited about this project, the Women in Tech Campus at Third Academy, our big hive. We have this beautiful dome that Brianna and I have been building out that is the host of a handful of the most powerful, impactful women's communities in technology globally. Our world is a co-working space where women have their own areas as well as shared co-working spaces in which include a wellness garden, a space art gallery, even a space for socializing and having ice cream together. And all of these spaces that highlight the women's communities and social spaces create what we call the hive. It's underneath a beautiful dome canopy, an interior that is tropical and futuristic. Our mission and our hopes is that the women's groups will meet each other, create connection, relationships that help support each other, growing in an ecosystem of the Web3 platform and metaverse community. We know that when women get together, we create change and create opportunities and platforms for more inclusion, more diversity, and creating what I like to call as not just safe spaces, but brave spaces, safe spaces to be more brave. So when women congregate together in the metaverse, they're able to collectively be more brave and support each other's diverse and inclusive voices so that we're able to be more effective and more impactful in our change making initiatives. Some of our communities that are joining us in our hive are launching AI classes such as the Mission Impact Academy, or teaching women around the world about financial power through cryptocurrencies, such as our Crypto Girls Club and our Crypto Equalizers. we have more groups on our way, and we're really excited to open our doors to create space for this strengthening of voices, this power power move in and out of the world through creating space together that empower women to be more safe and able to be more brave. We're going to see a better world for our next generations. We're not just building a world, we're building the future.
Impressive. I think that's truly impressive. And do you think that the metaverse can help to address the challenges of access to global opportunities in tech education? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, completely, especially since we're mobile and accessible. You know, the majority of the Third Academy community is in India and Africa and all around the world. We put accessibility first through our technology and through our ease of interface. So having these tools creates opportunities for more women around the world to be able to create new revenue streams, to be able to have new knowledge and education, to be able to find and assert their own educational content by creating new education classes with each other here in the metaverse and in their communities. I think that this space can be like a garden for women that never ceases to grow with opportunities for closing the pay gap, democratizing tools and accessibility, and empowering diverse voices to be the leaders that they are today and for the future.
Very nice. And when we started this space, if you have been listening to us and all that Paige has been sharing, we introduced Paige as the top 25 women in the metaverse, and she has been recognized by Meta as the top 115 global community builders. Really impressive in the inaugural Facebook Community Leadership Fellowship Program, and she has also been awarded the Real World Impact Award at Augmented World Expo by the SRO Women. And she's also featured in the book Women of the Future Global Edition, Volume 2, as well as a member of Mission Impact Academy. And just as a follow up on that, um, tell us about how Meta tapped you to build metaverse communities for Horizons World. How many successful communities have you seeded to date? And there are some proud moments that you must have had during this time. And also tell us like which ones are you most proud of, if you can share that.
Well, thank you for asking this question, Rita. It really is part of the journey of what brings me to Third Academy today. If I hadn't had the opportunity to work as a community builder, recognized in the Facebook Community Leadership Program, and in 2018 and 19, as well as Oculus Launchpad and part of the Facebook Spaces group. All of those also led up to being invited to join the Horizon World's pre-alpha creator team in the very beginning of Horizon, probably back in 2019 or in early 2020. Oh, there was about a group of 20 or so, 25 of us early creators. And when I saw that, that most of them were men, most of them were experienced builders and game designers. I knew that I had a lot of work ahead of me. And I knew that I needed to learn how to create worlds as well as the best of them to be able to make sure that women and diverse voices were always part of the conversation of how the platform developed and the way that the community grew. And I started a, a Facebook and Horizon group called Women in Horizon, as well. It has over 1,000 members who actively host summits together, workshops on building and social events. And we actually, many of our Women in Horizon members just met up together in real life at the recent Meta Connect at Meta headquarters in Palo Alto, California. It was really exciting to meet people. The metaverse creates relationships that are deep and profound in and out of the metaverse. So it's really, really special. I have created some other communities, Better World Museum and Horizon Art Museum, each have communities with, they're both initiatives that are community led. For instance, Better World Museum is a white wall template museum where artists in residence create their own museum. They dismantle the museum in order to make a better world. And Horizon Art Museum is infused with plus community voices buttons where we taught the very first scripting to people as they were entering into the platform. And so the over 35 worlds that are connected with the Horizon Art Museum amplify diverse women's voices throughout the gamified worlds. I'm proud of all of them. I'm proud of each one of those community members because they've gone on to create careers, worlds, and their own new revenue streams. And most of them have continued do this with their amplified, strong voices. Um, I really want to talk about one of the communities, the Horizon Art School. Was an early world, and at the earliest times in Horizon, and sometimes still yearly, we do at special events. We host climate hackathons, and those are our initiatives that I'm all very proud of. All of this experience of creating gamified worlds, community spaces, and metaverse worlds have brought me to be able to use these skills here at Third Academy. For instance, when we have a new partner, I often use Horizon Worlds to create a prototype or a gray box world of our design. And that gets passed off over to Brianna, who's also met me in Horizon Worlds and has built and imagined um, the physical space within that world, and then takes that design and uses that as a reference for expanding our design together and group discussions, and then that all gets built into with Brianna's incredible skills into Unreal, and what you see here today is really a process of using the best tools for the strongest results.
Oh, amazing. And I must really comment on how you do a good job with creating this amazing part. And you're just being a community builder, working with you for the past month. I think you do a very like a good job like with what you do, making inclusive spaces, right, and making people's voices heard, right? And as a community builder, can you tell us like what are some of the challenges that you've encountered? Because we know that it's not all rosy. Of course, there have been challenges. There are always challenges to good things. And what are the challenges that you have encountered in this journey? Because I know that you've come a long way from what you have mentioned. And how have you dealt with the challenges that you have encountered with building communities?
Well, I love challenges. The
Mm-hmm.
most important thing to remember is that life, every job, every project, everything that you work and put your all or your best into is going to have challenges. It's the natural way of creating things, right? So it's becoming best friends with challenges is probably going to be anybody's smartest course for achieving any goal, right? So that alone, reframing the idea of a challenge. So we meet up with design challenges, communication challenges, lighting challenges, audio challenges, and all of it just helps us grow and overcome the things that are in front of us so that we're able to have what we want as our vision. So really it's just state of mind, being able to reframe your challenges as opportunities and overcoming them as a team, being able to support each other and cheer each other and say at the end of the day, "Hey, this worked out really well. You're amazing," right? So all of those help challenges shrink and feel like rewards, right? You've overcome this hurdle and now you've achieved your goal and have the support of your community. And ultimately, that dissolves the isolation, anxiety, and worry that one would think of a challenge, right? So if something isn't working right, if I click on something and I'm like, oh, this is challenging me, right? It just doesn't have to feel that way. I'm not seeing that we have any big challenges. What we'd like to see, however, is the challenges of the larger world dissolve because of our communities communicating better together. So when we put the frame into that context, where we're going to put a couch or a chair or design something, those are not challenges. Those are the wonderful parts of living and having a career you love. But to create the community that's healthy, empowered, and has a core of democracy. Now, that challenge is one that we believe that the metaverse can be a partner in dissolving isolation, feelings of powerlessness in larger issues such as climate, financial structures, or wars, and bringing people together from all around the world, right? So if we're able to gather and metaphorically break bread together through communicating, educating each other, and empowering each other, then the largest challenges in the world will start to shrink. And we'll know that around the world, the metaverse and communities are truly partners.
Wow, very nice. I really agree that challenges helps us achieve our goal, and there's just this sense of fulfillment when you are able to solve a challenge either individually or collectively. There's just this sense of fulfillment that comes with it, and it helps you get better and how to navigate things moving forward, like no matter the um circumstances that you find yourself. I think we've had a very amazing space. One for me that has been very refreshing, listening to you talk about all of these amazing stuff. And I hope that's the same too for everyone who's listening to us and who can also feel this passion and this vision that you have in what you do, the communities that you build, the spaces that you make more inclusive and more accessible, on providing this access to people. And as a community builder, right, this is my last question, and then we'll open the floor if anyone has any question. um as a community builder, right, and also very recently, if I'm to reference 5 weeks course that we just offered for community managers in our space in this metaverse um lounge, that I think has gone very well. And also considering the fact that most, right, would all agree that most Web3 communities are primarily on Discord, right? So what word of advice, as the metaverse is gradually becoming a thing, as the metaverse is getting more mainstream, what word of advice do you have for community managers that want to transition from Discord to Metaverse community builders, right? To Metaverse community managers? Is there the possibility that you will launch a mentorship program in the future to help people with this transition and help them become better in building their career?
Absolutely. There is the possibility that Third Academy will launch a mentorship program. We know that communities on Discord are strong and really a backbone of Web3. And we want to create a seamless merge of transferring the incredible skills of community managers in Discord into the metaverse. So many of the skills are already so similar. Number one, listening, right? That's one of the most important skills of a community builder or manager. Being playful and responsive and creating games and activities, all of those things that you love about Discord can also happen here in the metaverse together at Third Academy. So we're creating this mentorship program in the future to really help people with this transition. Now, I talk a lot about building a better world and how the metaverse is a partner of that. And that's because when we think about community building, and there are many kinds of communities. There's communities of diverse fathers. There's communities of Web3 community builders. There's communities of women in tech. There's communities of different game designers or indie education leaders in the field. And when we bringing everybody together and listening and supporting each other and community building, we are building that better world together. For what else would we be doing this for? Thank you, Rita. I'm completely open
Well,
for
this
any
has
questions and answers. I'd love to hear if there are
yes.
any from our audience.
Yeah. Yeah, if anyone has any question, we're almost at the end of our space. Feel free to unmute your mic to ask Paige your question. And I think Paige has done a very great job um with the space today. And I'm just going to quickly check the chat to see if we have any questions there. Okay, I think we have one question. But before I get onto that, does anyone else have any question that they want to ask Paige today before we end our space? I mean, you would agree with me that the space has been amazing. So I'm sure you have questions.
I just wanted to, while we're waiting for a question, I wanted to thank everybody out there who's listening today on Discord and YouTube and Twitter Spaces and here with us in the metaverse. I'm thrilled that my partner Brianna joined us on the couch and shared about her process building. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Rita, for your really inspiring questions. You made me think deep and go far and try to really theoreticize why we build what we build and why we believe that Web3 education is essential, the core of the future.
Impressive.
Well, I heard of a question. I see it
Okay.
here. There's a question coming up. Mobile is the dominant form of connection to the internet in the developing world. Use of VR headsets is lower, primarily due to the cost. Education and mobile seem to be a powerful combination to spread the usage of the platform. Can you expand on this potential? Yeah, I'm really happy to. Well, we talked a lot about accessibility as being the name of the game, and accessibility comes in a lot of layers, right? So that can look like our devices, how we gather in the metaverse through mobile, tablets. Well, recently I was traveling and I only had my mobile device, and I was able to be here in a meeting with people in the metaverse, and that was helpful on the go. So um, today I'm here through a laptop, and I could literally be anywhere there's Wi-Fi or my mobile hotspot is able to bring me in. VR prices right now, that Quest 3 just came out, and there's the Pico that are all designed to allow browser experiences. And because Third Academy's metaverse is on a Web3 browser based platform, you are able to literally tune in from anywhere on almost any device. Now, the thing is, if you want to be in a community that's Web3, all you have to do is will it. It is, and take action. You can download our you can, well, this is what I did. I went to Third Academy Third Verse, or our Third Academy platform, our website, and I saved it on my mobile device. And that way, from anywhere in the world, I'm able to hop in to this lounge immediately and like invite my friends to join me too. So it's only a matter of time before we're all here together.
All right. I think we can take this one more. Do you think we can take this question that we have on the word chat? Are we able to answer that today? Okay. It says Your metaverse is much more photorealistic than others I have seen and more engaging than Clubhouse or Twitter Spaces. How many people can be supported in events in the space?
Ah, that's a great question. So we're really not limited. We're able to host 40 people in this space, and then it is able to create its own instances beyond. But we focus on audiences of 40 because we like to be together with everybody, but we're able to host up to 2,000 people at a time in our worlds. What's wonderful about being together is that we're able to really highlight our community members, because ultimately the metaverse is an incredible space which supports presence, and presence leads to connection and togetherness. And when we have that togetherness, anything could happen. And that's why at Third Academy's community is first. We build communities together, and we know, because these are safe spaces that make people more brave to share their voices, we know that these spaces ultimately, driven by education, will make a better world. So I'm so happy to be able to share what motivates me as a community builder, and why I'm so happy to be able to work as a team here at Third Academy and share our metaverse worlds with everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me to this time together to share with Rita.
Thank you very much, Paige. It's been an interesting space, and we've gradually come to the end of the space. I would like to thank everyone for joining us today to talk on this very important topic. And I hope that as you're listening to us, you've learned something new and you are inspired to get more involved in our community. Because I believe that the metaverse has the potential to sort of revolutionize Web3 education, right? By making it more accessible, engaging, collaborative, and even innovative, right? And Third Academy is a leader in this space. And I'm excited to see how Third Academy platform and the Metaverse campuses evolve over time. So I encourage you to join our community to learn more about Web3 and how you can build your career and get started, right? Because I believe that this is an exciting time to be involved in this growing field, and the Metaverse has the potential to play a major role in shaping the future of Web3 education. So thank you again for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in our next spaces. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paige.
Absolutely. Make sure that let's do some flying around and playing some games in the game garden. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. How can we do that? Do you want to lead the way? How can we?
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's fly first to the taco truck. That's my favorite place to